more technical details. Right, a little bit background on myself, I think this has been introduced. This technology, we have filed 8 patents and 2 original music inventions. I was formerly from Temasek Poly, NUS, A-Star, and a CEO of A-Star spin-off companies. I represented United Nations, which is the intellectual property organization. This is one of the 7 economic agencies under UN to publish paper and educate a lot of countries on how to use intellectual property. And a lot of paper have been adopted by US, by different governments, including Taiwan. I was also inventor of the first World Virtual Factory. I'm not sure, I think you already have seen the video. This was the news that is pretty good for Singapore to the world. We are the first in the world to invent this technology. I also run SGX Mainboard listed company for a couple of years as the CEO and GM. That was a little bit background about myself. Now we go into the company. This company is called NeuroCode. NeuroCode meaning we focus on your brain. So our business is all about helping your brain to improve and to become better. We were incorporated in January 2015, so to now we are about 4 years plus. But our research is back more than 10 years ago. Today, apart from Singapore, we have a HQ office in Beijing, and we have a Shenzhen office also. Shenzhen is taking care of all our training in China, which is doing all the franchise business there. And then we have Malaysia, Thailand, India, and Taiwan. So these are our offices in different countries. We filed 8 patents and 2 music copyrights. A little bit background about our company. I just quickly run through this milestone. In 2015, we set up our company. So by November, I was invited by WHO to present in China. This is a World Health Conference. And the interesting thing in this conference is I was the last speaker. Before me, there were about 20 over speakers from different parts of the world. And everybody is talking about health. I think today the big thing in the market is how to take care of your health. Right? All kind of genetic, supplements, stem cell, all kind of technologies. So being the last speaker, I go there and have a joke with them in Chinese. I said, now you hear all the 养生, right? After that you'll become 四肢发达. And what is next? That's what I'm doing. So the part everybody forget is your brain. Your brain controls every single organ in the body. And this is not just us, the whole world. The whole world. I'll share with you what happened in neuroscience. You've been highly neglected by all the government in the world. So today, humans have a lot of sickness that is not caused by your body, but your brain. 35% of world population died because of brain problem. Which is, a lot of people don't understand, don't know that. So if the brain controls your heart, controls every part of your body. So this is a very interesting research paper. After that, a lot of people get very excited. In April, we did a training from one of the Malaysian universities. This is some news coverage by local media. And we did a training for one of our soccer team, which is Hougang United. This is brain training. Because the last part of competition in any sports, and also in school, in education, is about your brain. It's not about your physics anymore. Right? So it's how you take stress, how you perform on the sport. July, we signed a licensing deal with one of the public listed company in China. So being an R&D company, one of our core business is selling technology. We sell core technology to about all this. We are looking at the major big companies. We did a training for Singtel. So this is one of the very interesting event. Singtel invited me back again last year. I didn't have time. So I did this for them. I think I did 5 sessions for them, all their senior managements. What corporate needs today, all the big organizations, next one probably be SQ, is brain training. A lot of people forget. It's not just about your technical knowledge. The competition in the world today is able to see what is coming future. It's not about what today. Your competitor today is not the guy next door. I always tell people, your shopping center, Singtel's competitor is not StarHub, it's not M1. It's going to be a guy who is going to throw all the telecom out of the whole world. That is called future. Right? It's Alibaba. They're going to revamp the whole industry. They change a lot of industry. Jack Ma has changed a lot of things. Hospital is going to be different very soon. Very, very soon. In 5 years' time, you see hospital, you don't need to go to hospital anymore. You don't need to go and see a doctor anymore. Just need an AI. You diagnose, and then after that you have a WeChat, or you have a Zhifubao, Alipay, or you have a Singapore with Nets, whatever. The medicine will send to your house and just pay. You don't have to pay, so it's paid already. Right? So this is where the future of competition is about. That's where corporate needs to go in. September, we signed some economic cooperation with Indonesia, and then we did a test on Hougang Mall. This is one of our first clinical trial we do on a shopping mall. So this is something interesting. We want to test, if we put neural sound wave into a shopping mall, how would be the people who shop there, the consumer feel? And the result was very, very positive. For 2 months, we run the trial there, and we have 300 over stores there. We aggregate the result after 2 months, the sales went up by 14%. So that is a clinical trial result. That means consumer like to shop in a very relaxed environment. Right? So 2 things you will do. One is you will stay longer. You stay longer, you eat more, you drink more coffee there, you tend to spend more money there. Second is you tend to come back because you like this environment. In October, we did our second clinical trial in a hospital in Malaysia. So this has been fully implemented, where we test our technology into the hospital, both for the doctors and for the patients. So we created a sound room for the doctor, and the doctor loved it because before any operation, they are highly tensed. Actually, the doctor themselves, they are pressured. So we basically let them go in and relax. And then for the patients, after the operation, this is a delivery ward. So either it's natural birth or it's delivery, they need to have good rest. Any patient after any operation, your brain needs to rest. So we put it into deep sleep. So we put the sound wave into our wards, hospital wards. February, I published a paper in Germany. So this is a research paper. You can get it online. You can just search my name, you'll find a lot of stuff about me online. So this is a very interesting research paper, and we created a lot of excitement from Germany. So quite a number of companies from Germany actually have fly down to Singapore to see me. So I told them next year. My schedule is not into Europe yet this year. Although a lot of response, a lot of interest from there. But my focus this year and next year is still China. China is our key market now, and Thailand we are picking up very, very strong. Thailand, because the politics has just changed and a lot of things has just changed. So the minister want this, they want this, they want this, they want this. So we will see what we can do with them. I'll share you a little bit later about Thailand. May 2018, that was last year. People say, you've been going around the world but you never helped Singaporeans. So this is something we do for Singapore. We work with a strategic partner called Enable Asia. The plan is to build a world without dementia. This is something we do. We donate to them, basically to a lot of elderly people. And this is something we do with Khoo Teck Puat Hospital. This is a hospital that have the elderly patients. So we test our sleep products and our dementia product with them. 2018, we signed our master distributor in Beijing. So this is one of very big distributor that help us to distribute in China. And then we were invited by Malaysia Consumer Association. And this is something we do for the country. Last year, October, I presented at National Design Center, invited, and there was a lot of news coverage. But basically, our objective is to educate a lot of elderly people that don't sleep well. Because sleep becomes a major problem when you get old. When you get old, I'll show you in a while, the 2 things we will first face. First is memory loss, second is sleep problem. And we need to address this fast. If you don't address this fast, you get worse and worse. In November, we launched our Shenzhen Center. So this is a center that's our HQ for all our training in China. So all training in China will run from here, all our franchise stores. So today we are mass recruiting franchise companies all across China. January 19, we signed our technology licensing agreement with a Shenzhen company. So this is also one of the big companies that do children products. So they put our technology into their products so that children can actually benefit from this whole technology. There was a news coverage that was by the television station of China. In February, I went to Thailand. So this is to the MOE and the mainstream schools. So Thailand is going to adopt our technology into their mainstream schools. So basically how we help children to learn. I'll share with you in a while what are the problems children face in learning. And after 5,000 years ago, today China is still learning the same way they learned 5,000 years ago. 考状元 they call it. Today you see the Gaokao is still exactly the same, there's no change. Singapore is still the same. Right? Our time in university, we mark until 2 a.m. Now still to mark until 2 a.m. We got marking. You still learn and reproduce, but that is useless today. Many of you understand, if you've gone through your education, how many percent use in real life? Today you don't need to remember anything. I tell them, you don't know? Google, apply to. You can find most of the things in here. Then why do we go to school? Right? Actually, there's a lot of purpose going to school, but not to just learn the hard knowledge. The purpose going to school is to understand how the thinking process. We need to develop the thinking ability. So that's a little bit introduction of our company and what we do in a short span of 4 years. We have been quite an exciting company because of our core technology and because of the area we are embarked on. We embarked on an area that today is going to be one of the biggest industry in the world. In the next 5 to 10 years, you're going to see that huge, what Warren Buffett says, the era of IT is over, DT is on the way. IT is information technology, data is data technology. Today is still data technology. All our Google, Amazon, they are doing data, nothing else. Facebook is selling data, right? The next one is going to be FT, which today is on the way, fintech, financial technologies, all your Bitcoin, whatever coin things. Next one is HT, that's where we're in health tech. The next billion-dollar industry is going to be health tech. So our mission of this company is to develop effective technology to enhance brain power and improve mental wellness. How we maintain our mental wellness. The second part is a social enterprise, which is a non-profit part of it, is to help special needs people with hyperactivity, autism, depression, and dementia. These are the 4 areas we identified, and we have the technology to help them to improve their quality of their life. So this is the non-profit part of our business. So now I'm going to share with you a little bit about our brain. Right? This chart is what I call the life cycle of our brain. Right? Many people do not understand how our brain works. And today, even the top scientists in the world, the top neurologists in the world, still understand very little of our own brain. We don't understand our brain. We try very much to understand it because it's deep inside. Right? So let me share with you a little bit mystery about our brain. Our brain has a lot of neurons. Neurons are the brain cells. Right? But these neurons by themselves, they are useless. We are born with a lot of neurons, a lot of cells, but the cells are useless. It's like a mobile phone. Today I give you a phone, but you have no 4G, you have no Wi-Fi. Is it useful? It's useless. So what you need to connect them. So that is how our brain works. Our brain cells, when they are connected, that is where we form the neural network. And that's my research in A*STAR, where we mimic human brains. I started with AI. AI is where we start. We try to duplicate what a brain can do onto a machine. At the end, we say, no. We're going to put it into ourselves, not into the machine. Because the machine is going to be smarter than us. And they are already smarter than us. Right? So any neurons are brain cell, needs to be activated and connected. Because information and knowledge is not stored in the cell. It's stored in the connection between the cells. So there is some basic education. So we build a network in our brain, the network stores information. The cell itself doesn't store. Right? So that is how our brain works. So when we are born, we will have a brain that has only 20% neuron connections. So any baby is born, he can only have 20% human functions. So the other 80% of function is not there. That means a baby is born, he cannot talk, he cannot walk, because that part of the brain is not connected, the speech part is not connected. Right. So when the moment we are born, the connection starts because of external stimulation. Once a kid is born, a baby is born, he's stimulated by the light, by sound, by all the stimulations. That's how his brain starts to grow. And the most critical part of brain development is 0 to 3 years. That's why a lot of parents don't understand. When you go 6 years, you go to nursery, you try to make him to study very hard, primary start, it's useless. Because competition starts from 0 years old. In China, we call 竞争从0岁开始. It's not when you're 4 years old. Because your brain has already developed. And if you didn't develop strong, then you lose out. You lose out. Your hardware itself, you lose out. Your memory system itself, you lose out. I just read the news from China, the former education minister of China. This lady now went into neuroscience, very interesting. She spent her last 5 years after she retired, went into brain research, and she started to tell everybody, your brain from 0 to 3 years has developed 90% already. So that is where you should focus on. And not after that. After that, of course, you still can do, but that is the software installation. That means you have a CPU that is i3 today, and then you try to install a lot of software. It's useless. So your objective is you want an i7 CPU. Right. So the moment a baby is born, his brain starts to connect, start to do all the connections because of stimulations. And then by about 30 to 40 years, we reach our peak. By about 30 to 40 years old, our brain has connected. Most of the part of our brain has been connected. All the functions, knowledge, ability, information are all stored inside. Right? And then after that, we go into the aging phase. The phase that everyone goes through. Your physical body, your brain as well. So after 40 years old, the first problem you're going to face is memory loss. memory lost. A lot of people are going to start to say, I'm so forgetful now. Last night I can remember this, now how I forgot, right? Or you walk out of the house, forget the key, forget the phone, forget this, forget that, Your memory system is not working well, right? If it's minor, it's okay. If it's serious, please take note. There's an early sign of dementia. That means your memory start to lost. Why your memory system lost? Is because whatever neuron that you connected, neuron are cells. When you're born, the cell form what we call ventricles, then you start to connect. The information is stored in between. But when it gets old, this thing breaks. It's like a rubber band. Especially people who are under high stress. Young time, we work very hard, right? Singaporean especially, many people don't sleep after 2 o'clock. I see SMS sent at 4 o'clock. I don't know, is it purpose or purposely or intention? I remember when I started Temasek Poly, I was the first batch of lecturers, I was director there actually. Then I received information from lecturers sent at 3 a.m. I said, my God, you guys don't sleep, yeah? Oh, they say, either they pre-prepared the message or they intend to show the boss they're working very hard, or is it they really don't sleep at 3 o'clock. I said, it's not good for your brain, better go back to sleep, right? Because if you don't sleep well, you're going to have a lot of problems. And that is very basic knowledge that we're trying to educate the whole world. That when your brain sleeps, there are 2 things your brain do when you sleep. Number 1, when you sleep, your brain detox. Your brain actually diffuse all the chemical that you created when you're thinking. The whole day you're using your brain. It's like your car engine oil, I need to change. So that's the only time your brain can send us chemical out of your brain. So you need to let it rest. If you continue using it, it cannot rest. Alright? Second thing your brain do when you sleep is to create memories. Remember the word, create memories. Memory is created in your sleep, not now. You can take a book and read 100 times now. If you don't sleep, you still cannot remember. I'm sure rigorous research, I'll show you one video from Harvard professor. There's Harvard Sleep Center, they do this research. That, in fact, the whole world today knows memory is created in your sleep. People who don't sleep will have not good memory. That's why elderly people start to lose a lot of memory because they don't sleep well. If they don't sleep well, they're going to have a lot of memory problem. So by the time you reach 60 years old, half your connection is gone. I mean, half of human function is gone again. And that is normal case. If you're under high stress, if you never take care of your brain, you go back to the stage where you are reaching 20%. That means you start all over again the cycle. So sometimes a lot of people find that their parents are very childish. They say, how come my father, mother not so childish? It is. They are here. Because whatever they teach you, they forgot. It's not they like to forget, they have no choice. Their brain has dysfunction, the connection are gone. Whatever you learn now, you work very hard, think of this, plan this strategy. Singaporeans are very good at that. Everything 5-year planning, we plan everything ahead. But by the time you reach there, you had no control over it. I'm here. My brain is there. I'm reaching 60. I'm born in 61, so another 2 years I'll be 60 years old. But keep yourself brain young and keep your body young. In China, we call this 养生健脑. People only 养生 don't 健脑. If you don't 健脑, we call it 养生健脑, 身心不老. Shen is your body, Xin is your mind. Your brain gets old, your body will get old automatically very fast. It follows your brain. So you need to keep both healthy. Right? So that is what we need to keep our brain healthy. So what we do in our company, our research focuses on 2 key directions. First direction is brain stimulation. Brain stimulation is used for very young children, in the stage where they start to connect their neuron connections. The children need to build up their memory systems. We start from 0 years old. The one that you saw I built for the China listed company, we built a baby bed for 0 to 6 months old. The bed itself has all our sound wave. So those people who want to have very smart children, they put the bed inside, they bought the bed. The bed is costing about 10,000 US. And it has sold 20,000 overseas, especially to Middle East, to Europe, all over the world. So they become a prime product. Of course, this is a very expensive product, not everybody can afford. Right? So objective is to bring our technology to the mass market, not for the elite group of people. So that is the first product we built, brain stimulation. Today we have built a product that costs you 1,000 plus. Everybody can afford to buy. They can just wear a earphone, a earpiece with sound wave technology. And we have second direction is mental wellness. So this is at the stage where our brain start to disconnect because of our stress we build up through our life. So we help you to maintain it so that your brain still becomes strong and functionally good. Okay, this is how it looks like our brain, inside your brain, under microscopic view. Right? When you're born, these are the neuron connections. You see the little dots, that are the connections. And the lines are the connections. They're only about 20% connected, our brain. So as we grow, in about 1-year-old child, you can see the neuron connection is a lot more now. Right? It's a network. By the time you reach 10 years old, the children 10 years old have been gone to probably like primary 4, primary 3. So he learns a lot of stuff, he knows a lot of things, he can speak, he can walk, he can talk, he can play, he can do everything. Right? You reach 30 years old, that's about the peak of the brain already. Right, so yeah, we're probably here. So after that, we go through the natural process of aging. Then your connections start to break up. And by the time 60 years old, you go one round. Right, so keep our brain healthy. That's the message. Keep our brain healthy as much as our body. A lot of people take a lot of supplements, take vitamins, take everything, keep their body very strong. But then if your brain is gone, you don't know why you're so strong. Right? So this part, we need to keep our brain healthy. So this is the neural network in our brain. For unstimulated brain, we call it. That means the connection is not highly stimulated. You see, one way to make a child very smart is to let the child run, let him go to the outside and exercise. Right? China did a very interesting study. They did a very deep research to compare China education and US education. What's the difference? Right? What is the difference between our Asian, or in general, is Asia versus American education? Americans don't study, they are pretty lazy, but they produce all the top students. Top meaning not score exams. Score exams are all Chinese. You go to American student, either the Indian or the Asian top all the American universities. All the first class honor, we're very good in that. Score 100 marks, 99 upon 100. But we're not as smart as them. How many Nobel Prize winners we produce? How many smart people have we produced? Right? Because US education, and they did a study, and the research paper is very interesting. You can go online and search it under Baidu. And the result conclusion was, American focus a lot on sports. Sports. And all the American presidents are all sportsmen. Go and check everyone, including Donald Trump. All of them are sportsmen. Sports actually stimulates your body. In neuroscience, it's very simple. Kids, let them run. Don't keep them in the house and sit quiet, don't talk. Let them run, let them stimulate. Because when they go to nature, they are stimulated, of course, in a very young age, especially babies. So when their brain is stimulated, the neurons start to connect, they start to get all the information in. So what we do in using sine wave, you can sound wave, we can stimulate that. So about 2 months stimulation, this is how we localize. And I'll show you some real case from China. This is one of the very interesting case. There are a 2-year-old boy who cannot speak after 2 years. Typically, children can speak about 1 year plus. But this boy cannot speak after 2 years, so he went to see doctors and diagnosed as what? Mild retarded. That means his brain is retarded. Right? So in today's medical, if you are retarded, there's not much they can do, the doctor. Right? They cannot give you medicine injection. Because brain especially, your body is easy. Your brain is deep inside the skull. It's the deepest part of your body. Most difficult to access. So he used our stimulator for about a month, he can read, he can sing song. So the doctor was quite amazed. Right? How do you achieve this? I said, brainwave, sound wave technology is a physical method. It's an exercise. If you don't exercise your body, your muscle gets weak. You understand that, right? If you exercise, your muscle is strong. Same thing as your brain. But your brain is deep inside. How do we exercise our brain inside? You cannot shake your head every day and walk like that, right? Yeah. That's why Indians are very smart. Yes. Joke, this is a joke. It's not a racist. But they're smart, really smart. My partner is an Indian. Right. It's very good. Every day he says yes. And I know to do yes. This is yes, this is no. No is horizontal, yes is circular. So it's true, no, in the way you exercise your brain, but you didn't exercise your neurons. But you can't. It's deep inside. Right? So we need to send stimulus inside. That's what sound wave is about. We send the signal into your brain, so it vibrates your brain cells, like you're vibrating your hand. You put your hand on the table, and you don't move it for 1 hour, you find that whole hand will numb. Why? Because there's no blood flow. Your brain is so smart, you don't use this organ for long, you think you don't use it now, so they save energy, like your phone, or you go save power mode. You go into save power mode, so your heart pumps lesser blood there. This is real, it's medical. If you don't pump blood there, your hand will be numb. But if you take it and shake your body, it's okay. But your leg, you sit too long, then you shake your leg, right? You exercise a bit. Once you exercise, you start to stimulate it. Then the blood will go in. It's the same simple theory as your brain. You don't use it for long, you get this, the function gets slower. So this is one of the interesting cases. We've got a lot, like 1,000 over cases today we collected from China. Success case. This is a 4-year-old boy, hyperactive. Hyperactive are the biggest problem in the world today. Today, 30%, more than 30% population are hyperactive. Because thanks to all your iPad and your phones. And every day you play with the phone, your kid play with the phone, play with the iPad, the brain is overstimulated. Because your phone is having 900 megahertz. That kind of frequency. 900 megahertz is like having $900 million in the bank. You think of it. If 1 hertz is $1. So 900 megahertz is 900 million hertz into your brain. So the brains are overstimulated. So kids who play games, who play this, they are very highly stimulated. Right? So what we do, sound wave, is we bring you back to the rest stage, your brain. Right? So this is another case that they can only speak a few words. See many doctors, you tried, even there's people called alpha wave equipment in the market, similar to ours, then they say the same as us. You can try it. Right? Alpha wave is useful, but it's a certain fixed frequency. They are not using that. Right? But they don't see much improvements after a while, they see very useful stuff. So what then is neural sound wave? Talk about a little bit technical, I'll make it very simple. What do we do here? Our basis of our technology is what we call music therapy. Human brain is very easily influenced by music. All of us listen to songs. I think every human listens to songs, whether you like it or don't like it. You have a certain song you like to listen, and sometimes you enjoy certain songs, and sometimes you can fall asleep with certain songs. Sometimes you get very highly stimulated with certain songs. Right? That's how music can affect our brain. Our brain is not good in learning words. It's like there are thousands of you who teach you memory techniques. We can teach you how to memorize 1,000 words. Very easily create a story. Your brain works by story, your brain works by music, your brain works by a lot of things. But your brain don't work by discrete things. Right. So with music therapy, we add in 2 more technology on top. The first technology we put in is called binaural wave. What is binaural bits? It's a bit technical. Let me try. You put on a earpiece, so you see our product. This is a binaural bit product. This product, you must use a headphone. Without this, you'll never achieve the result we want. Because what we are going to do, we're going to send in 2 different music on your 2 ears. You're listening to 2 different frequencies at the same time. Right? So this can only be created by earphone. It cannot be done by speakers. And there is a differential frequency. We call the difference of the frequencies. And if this is 200 hertz, that is 210, then we have a difference of 10 hertz. So the difference is 10 hertz. As time goes, these 2 frequency changes. And you created a 3rd wave, and that's what we want for the brain. Because this frequency cannot be created by any equipment. Right? Your electronic equipment cannot create this. Your whatever equipment cannot create this frequency. It's at a very low frequency that is right inside your brain. So what we do from here, we add 1 more layer of technology called brainwave entrainment. Brainwave entrainment uses the technology of synchronization. We try to get a frequency into your brain, we vibrate your cells. When you want to reach synchronization, then you start to see everything will follow. I'll show you an example. This is created by a Japanese company, a very good video. What is brainwave entrainment? So you see a lot of these pendulums or clickers. We start anytime. We don't synchronize it. We just start anyone. And we start to click. These are pendulums that will move. But after a while, you see everything will be synchronized. Why? Because it reaches a stage we call resonance. The key thing here is this belt. The belt below is a soft material. So every frequency is transmitted down here. And they will try to find its common point. We call the balance point. Right, so after like maybe 30 seconds or so, after a while everything will be the same. You can do this experiment at home. Right. So the same technology is being used in our sound wave technology. We put a frequency into your brain until your brain frequency and our frequency is the same. Then from there we'll start to influence you. We'll start to bring the frequency down and your brain will follow. Basically we drag you along. So you follow, it's called entrainment. You are being entrained into it. That's how you can fall asleep. That's how our sleep device works. How our Domio works. Okay, of course we have a lot more technical stuff. I wouldn't explain this. This is in our patent documents. So from there we extract harmonics. Because not every frequency is useful to your brain. So basically we break out your frequency into many frequencies and we extract a useful one. This is our buffet. You go to buffet, you have 30 dishes, but you only eat 3-4 dishes. You can't eat everything. Right? So we find a useful one to form what we call, eventually, our technology is called neural sound wave. So sound wave for your brain. Today we have 5 major area applications into education, sports, mental health, sleep therapy, and stress reduction. These are the 5 areas that we go in our business. And this is how sleep technology look like. This is on an EEG device, electroencephalograph. We didn't bring one here. That you can try out, put on and see your own brainwave. We have a device that can show you. Some people tell me, are you sure brain have wave? There are people who ask that, you sure our brain have wave? Right. So we can show you that medically. This is a medical device that you can see your brain wave. And this is how you look like from low frequency to high frequency. This is about 0.5 Hertz to about 40 Hertz. Here is very messy. 20 to 40 Hertz is where you're thinking, your beta wave. When you think, when you start to be worried about things, think about tomorrow meeting, think about next month, how to scale out the company, how to make more money, your brain gets very busy. When your brain gets very busy, you cannot sleep. Right? So we need to bring this frequency down. So when you listen to our Zomeo, about 15 minutes, this is how you look like, your brain. So here, all the high frequency will be suppressed down. And that is the stage where you go into deep sleep. Okay, I'm going to show you one video from Harvard University, the Sleep Center. The medical faculty, they have a very specialized center. A few of them are doing this research. One of the very key information we found out is that memory is created in your sleep. That is the message you need to take off today.
It turns out that sleep is important for memories at 2 different times. It's important before you ever go into the waking situation where you're going to try to learn something. And it's important after that happens as well. If your brain is too tired in some sense, it can't take information in as well. Some of this has to do with an inability to pay attention even. But there seems to be something deeper than that in the actual memory circuits that gets fatigued so that you don't learn as well. After you learn something, that memory that you have formed is not in its final form. That the brain still has to do a lot of work with that memory to get it into the form where it's going to be stable and useful to you. It's not something you have to pay attention to. It's not a time that you have to keep practicing and rehearsing what you learn. Your brain will take care of this all by itself. And it seems to do most of it while you're asleep. Part of what it's doing, we know, is actually strengthening the connections within the brain that are the basis of those memories, because that's how memories are stored, is in the connections between brain cells. But we also know that it's taking those memories and it's shuffling it around to different parts of the brain. The brain, where you keep information on what you had for breakfast today, is different from the place where you keep information on what kind of breakfast you like and what you might want to order for breakfast in a restaurant. Those are different kinds of memories. But that second one of what you might like in a restaurant is built from lots of specific memories of what I had for breakfast today and yesterday. And that process of moving the information from one part of the brain to another also seems to be occurring during sleep.
So whatever information we receive, whether you read a book now, or you read something now, the information is not stored in the final form. The information is stored in your hippocampus. That's where the creation of memory starts in our brain. The 2 parts, called the hippocampus part. So this memory is short-term memory. In other words, we call it working memory. It's like your RAM of the computer. If you type a Word document, then you forget to save, and then you switch off the computer, it's gone. Right? So when you sleep, what your brain does is it moves this information from hippocampus into another part of the brain, which is called amygdala. Amygdala is your final form. So your brain has to choose what to store. You have no control. We can teach you how to control what you want to save. Right? Human memory is very interesting. It's dynamic. So how many of you remember what you eat this morning for breakfast? Do you remember? Very good. Yesterday? Do you remember what you eat last Monday? How about last month? How about last year? You forgot everything. Right? Now you go back and take your O-level. How many of you will fail? How many of you are confident to pass O-level maths? That's how our memory works. It's not our fault. Right? I remember I was laughing at the Beijing University. One of my friends there is a professor teaching in Beijing University. They have this program called 最强大脑. You all watch this program? Very interesting. Very dumb, stupid. I say, why would you do that? And last year they have a competition. They get Baidu to create an AI machine. And they compete with the AI. They compete on memory. You take a phone today and you take a picture of someone, you store in the phone, after 20 years it's still there.
Yeah.
Today I show you somebody's face, after 1 minute you forget the guy. Tomorrow you forget him. You don't believe who do you see just now on the lift? How many faces do you remember? You seen together with the lift? Just lift, you come up by lift, right? All of you don't walk up by staircase, right? But there's someone in the lift, right? Do you remember whether it's a guy, it's a lady? Remember what shirt he wear? What shoe he wear? Do you remember? You don't. It's not your fault. It's how our memory system is designed. Our memory system is designed using dynamic system, using priority. Remember the word, then you know how to keep your memory good. It's by priority. What is important to you, you will stay for a long time. Not important, you will forget. Someone in the lift, why you bother to remember? Right? But your customer, you probably will remember him very well. Because you keep in your mind, remember, this guy is David. Next time, you say, oh, hello David, it sounds good. Next time, you say, hello Mr. You don't know what, then it's very bad. This is how salespeople train memory, right? Okay, better way to train you. Right? A better way to train your memory to become more powerful. But human memory is replacement. Because every day, there's so many things. Every day, there are 1,000 information in your brain. When you sleep, your brain has to sort out what to store, what not to store. You have no control. Your brain will control. What they want to store, what you don't want to store. What you don't want to store is gone for you forever. Right? So today you see 10%, tomorrow another 10%. So these faces will replace. You keep replacing it in your brain. That's why our memory system is not like a computer. Right? But you go and complete the computer, yes, you'll never beat the computer. Right? So we complete other things. So that is how our memory system works. So brain has been a highly neglected organ in the research arena. Okay. When I was in A-Star about 10 years ago, or 20 years ago, 15 years ago, I left the place very long ago. Okay. Then we were talking about genetic. There was one of the major research in the world. One of the biggest scientific research in the world is genetic. We try to decode human gene, and we successfully completed all. The whole world, not just Singapore, but of course led by United States, China, France, UK, including A-Star. We also do that. So everybody, all the scientists in the world try to decode human genes. When we can decode every single gene of the body, what can we do? We can create stem cells. If you understand stem cell technology, that means I can duplicate my organs. That was the intention, right? Duplicate organ, the dream is this, The dream is, you read the religion, you read Genesis, it says you can live until 500 years, right? Abraham lives 180 years old, right? It's very interesting. I'm religion neutral. I studied Christianity. I finished a degree. I studied Buddhism. Completed the Northern Indian University degree. But I studied for scientific reasons. So we studied, a lot of things are real. They're scientific. Like why human can live actually for many years, but why do we die? Cancer. Cancer is your own cell mutation. It's a cell mutation. Because of all the chemical we eat, because of the thing we eat, you don't eat, it's probably a less fewer problem. Chinese say about 病从口入. Actually it's true, a lot of things you eat actually destroy your cells. Right? So brain has been highly neglected organs because we do not put attention on it. So we put attention on a lot of body parts. So until only 2013, that was only about 6 years ago. Right? We decoded the gene long time ago. Of course the genetic project was stopped in the whole world because of one Korean scientist who created a ship called Dolly. You still remember Dolly? Dolly became so famous. Huh? So they duplicate a ship. If I can clone a ship, I can clone a human. What will happen if you clone a human? Have you ever thought about how the world look like? We have 20 Catherine sitting beside you and don't know which one is the real one. You see in fiction movies, science fiction. But they are real. They are real. Today there are already four lollies already. They clone many already. Right. Recently, China, just I think a few months ago, one of the scientists do a genetic modification of a baby. This baby will never have AIDS. It was successful but was condemned by the whole world. Genetic modification is very dangerous. So they can change your gene so that you won't be affected by certain diseases. Right? But you don't know the side effect. You know the side effect after 20 years. Any change, you only know the effect after many years. But then it's too late to go back. So 2013, the last US President, Barack Obama, in the White House, now a very major initiative. This is now the biggest initiative in the world. It's called the Brain Initiative.
US President Barack Obama has proposed a $100 million initiative to map the human brain's activity in unprecedented detail, saying this 1.4 kilogram organ remains largely a mystery.
Now, as humans, we can identify galaxies light years away. We can study particles smaller than an atom, but we still haven't unlocked the mystery of the 3 pounds of matter that sits between our ears. So today, scientists possess the capability to study individual neurons and figure out the main functions of certain areas of the brain. But a human brain contains almost 100 billion neurons, making trillions of connections.
Obama has asked Congress to start funding the Brain Research through Advancing Innovative Neurotechnologies initiative next year in a bid to understand and hopefully better treat debilitating conditions such as Alzheimer's, autism, and stroke.
We're still unable to cure diseases like Alzheimer's or autism, or fully reverse the effects of a stroke. And the most powerful computer in the world isn't nearly as intuitive as the one we're born with. There's this enormous mystery waiting to be unlocked. And the Brain Initiative will change that by giving scientists the tools they need to get a dynamic picture of the brain in action and better understand how we think and how we learn and how we remember. And that knowledge will be transformative.
Obama's plan, which was first proposed in his State of the Union address, would require the development of new technology that could record the electrical activity of individual cells as well as the complex neurological circuits in the brain. The initial proposed $100 million investment would go to support research at the National Institutes of Health, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, and the National Science Foundation. However, Obama would also like to see private companies, universities, and philanthropists partner with the federal agencies to support the research.
This is about 6 years ago when one of the American presidents announced a major scientific research. Very few in the history of human that the President of America will lead an initiative to announce something that we today can understand microorganisms. We can understand starlight here away, but don't understand our own brain. That's what he said, the 3 pounds of matter that sit between the 2 ears. Alright. So today, a lot of research money have been poured, billions and billions of dollars worldwide, into brain research. Right. The main objective, Alzheimer's, dementia, one of the dementia diseases, there are many diseases in dementia. Alzheimer's, stroke, autism, all these major things. Remember, one of our, now is the PAP, Deputy Secretary General. You know who is Deputy Secretary General of PAP? Our Minister, Heng Swee Keat. Right? Got into stroke, and he was recovered. Today, there's a lot of breakthrough in stroke technology. Stroke is all about brain. That means certain part of your brain cell is dead. How we cause stroke, main problem is the neck. The only way your brain connects to other part of the body is through your neck, no other areas. So later I'll show you the brain structure. We all connect through midbrain to other part of the nervous systems. Any of your vein, there's a lot of vein on your neck that supplies blood to your brain. That's oxygen. Blood carries oxygen to your brain. If any of the vein clogs, due to whatever reason, whether high cholesterol, in Singapore we are all high cholesterol, high whatever problems, any of that vein clogs or burst, your brain cell will have no oxygen supply, you die. When you die, you can't move. One of the things I told the China 最强大, I said you want to win a robot is very easy. I compete with you, see how many times we can swing our hand. You make a robot that can swing, how many times you can swing? You're trying to do that easy? Is it easy to do? It's so relaxed and so easy. But a robot can never do that. You know how much computation to do that? To do from here to there, to you is very easy. To a robot, we calculate a lot of millions of computation, you know. A robot can do this, you know. But human can do this. I can move my hand so easily. You know there are 32 bones in your hand. And all can move anywhere you want. That's how powerful your brain is. The robot, we are not able to do it. I've done artificial intelligence for many years. We try to build robot that talk like human, move like human, walk like human, and sit beside you and you don't even know there's a robot. We try to do that. But the robot cannot swing hands. We try very hard. Because too much computation involved. Too much calculation involved. No matter how fast the computer in the world today, it's not as fast as here. I think no computer can compete here. Just that we don't know how to use it. We don't use it fully. We probably use 10% of it. We don't use everything that's inside there. So we have a super computer, we used to use word only. Type documents, send message, WhatsApp, very happy already. Right? Today you buy a phone, you can send WhatsApp, you're very happy. That's all you need, right? When you need everything in the phone. The phone can do so many things for you. Right? You don't use it. In China today, I just bring one phone, don't even bring anything else. I don't even bring money anymore. I forgot how to use money. One day I suddenly draw $100 and said, still got money, you know? I said, we forgot how to use money in China. I tell you frankly, everything is phone. Even the train today, just go in the train. Everything is phone. Everything is WeChat with the phone, that's all. It's 支付宝 and your WeChat payment. No, nothing else. Even buy $2, buy a drink also, you can just swipe. Everything you just swipe a phone. So that's how humans change. And I think many people in China don't know how to use money already. They probably have no money in their body. They took out, actually got some.